was really hard. I've been composing music brain. I've been composing all day. I've been working on the piano for four hands that should have been in Boston area a while back, but I've been working on other stuff. And with things on lockdown, it doesn't seem like there's any urgency, except that, yeah, maybe the performers could be practicing it. Did you ever think of that, Nick? No. Well, the truth is, I wanted to edit it, and I wanted to just like kind of had this idea that it was just a simple, oh yeah, you know, I mean, this is just how I go into everything, right? Just sort of charge in head first and be like, oh yeah, this is easy, no problem. I've got a good concept here. And I do, I have a very strong concept, but the problem is that when I sat down to get it out, it's kind of brutish, you know? It just kind of was like, I mean, it was nice. Let me put it that way. It was really nice. And what I'm doing now is, one of the things I've had to teach myself, and this is, and I think that every composer has to find their own version of this, but is to be brutally self-critical, and then be willing to cut and slash your own work to get really at the core of it. And the music that I've been writing the last few years is, I used to really like to make everything, well, you know, right out of grad school, I was really all about the atonality. And so like anything that resembled a chord or a jazz chord, anything like that was purely accidental. And I liked that. I liked those references, how they would float into atonality. And it serviced me at the time. And then but what I've been getting into, and oh right, Sunday night movies. I'm gonna show the first 10 minutes of Songs of the Thirsty Sword, which is really single finger playing, you know. I don't remember the tune, but it's, you know, it taking a cue from that and kind of building forward in the music I've been writing is to get the stuff that's in the way of the core out. And the I got a notification here, I can't see anything. What I mean by the stuff that gets in the way of the core is like, you get an idea. I did this in the piece that C.A. Jordan is going to sing, Once I Was a Tree. The whole piece is built up on, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, the whole piece is built up on these really dense jazz blues chords, which are terrific if you're singing them with a choir, right? All that kind of vocally stuff is woof. Get some voice crossing in there. The tenor's singing higher than the altos, and wow, it sounds great. But to get that down to some kind of, you know, crazy bare essential where it's just that, or even better, thin it out a little bit. We can do better than that. More extreme? So, to get the power of that extreme in every single note, every single phrase, and the impact that it is having, I've only gone over the first 2 minutes and I'm not done yet. And I don't even have a complete draft. Not written out. I have it in scribble form. To get to the effect that has is it takes something and puts it into. Robert Ashley used to say, "It you know, take this tune, now break my heart," and the result is not sad, but it's heartbreaking somehow. It's heart-wrenching. It's heart-rendering. It's just it's an ephemeral feeling that that isn't sad, and I mean, maybe it's melancholy. Um, it it's kind of it embodies this phrase that Lucky Moscow um, gave me once, and he said, "Oh, put this in your music." And I actually, as a joke, I use it in almost every piece of music I write. But it's with distant nostalgia. What does that mean? Well, it's kind of like the music for other people's things. The 11 Ideas slash Deli's Egg music was, I termed that music as future nostalgia. So it was like nostalgic music because the music is all based on my grandmother's old records. You know, she liked to listen to that, you know, Henry Mancini orchestra kind of stuff. Schlocky or Henry Mancini had a lot of grit actually, but you know, that era of cocktail album. Um, and and but I was realizing it with modern instrumentation, synthesizers and the like, and the feeling of it was something futuristic that was looking backward. It's an idea that Eurythmics worked with. They were actually the reason why I decided to write music was Eurythmics. Their second album kind of blew me away. The album with Sweet Dreams, not the song Sweet Dreams. It was the song Love Is a Stranger. Just like blew my mind. They when they did the soundtrack for the movie 1984, they were really after something that was futuristic but stuck in time, and it's a concept that I've always loved to work with because music does that. It flips back and forth. There's always like a retro version of something, right? You know, when swing came back into vogue, but it wasn't the same swing that they were listening to when swing was invented. It was, you know, it wasn't Glenn Miller, it was the new version. And so music folds back on itself, and it's always such a curious idea to think of that, especially in extremes like Eurythmics or Dali's Egg, where you're talking, the instrumentation, the technology is completely different, completely outside of the style of music and the concept behind that older music, and how it becomes disembodied. They become disembodied from each other and yet somehow work together to create something phenomenal. So I'm always looking for those weird mixes in my composition, and to get to the core of that, these ephemeral things that you walk away with, like what I have now with Tiny Thunder is the name of the piece that I'm working on, is it's just heart-wrenching, but it's not sad. It's not sad at all. So I don't know. Is that what they call poignant? It's not poignant. It doesn't feel poignant to me. It just gets in there. It gets under something. But to get to that, boy, I'm going to keep making this point again and again. To get to that, you really have to strip away all of the crap, all of the caca. It's just like sculpting. You have to get, you know, out of this. I can't even come up with something good. To, you know, I got to get down to, like, right? That's way more dramatic than this. Whatever. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. I'm a little stir crazy, got severe music brain. Do tune in Sunday night movies. I will, that's going to be ready a little earlier than usual. I'm trying to get it up nights, early in the afternoon West Coast time, so that it's like up and running early evening East Coast time. And this week is going to be Songs of the Thirsty Sword. Did I mention that? I have absolutely no recollection of what I just said the last 8 minutes. Yeah, Songs of the Thirsty Sword, quiet piano piece. It's just going to be the first 10 minutes of it because it's a 32-minute piece of music with video projection. And something I don't say in the intro is that the version that I'm showing is the very original version with the original electronics, which were later revised slightly. So that's the version I premiered in the Czech Republic, and then the U.S. premiere was in Berkeley at the Maybach Recital Hall, thanks to a good friend of mine who hosted all of those things back then. And the recording was made there, so it's actually a rough cut. It's not a final version. But that recording, if you like what I've been doing, do check out my Bandcamp today, Friday, until midnight, I guess. All Bandcamp music. Bandcamp isn't taking their admin fees, so artists are collecting 100% of the proceeds, and we can all use it. Some are donating. Some artists are donating their proceeds to charities. I know that Unseen Worlds is selling Sam Ashley's last recording because Sam Ashley is ill, and they're donating it to Sam's care. So Unseen Worlds, look for Sam Ashley. That's a good one to check out because I believe that's a Name Your Price. And a couple of others. We could all use it. We could all use music, and Bandcamp, we're independent, and there's a good reason why we're independent. It's because we want to keep making original content outside the industrial boundary. That sounded really ominous, didn't it? Yeah. Okay, I'm out. Have a marvelous Friday. We're headed strongly into the weekend, careening toward the weekend. Sunday night movies. I will be back tomorrow with another improv and some tarot tomorrow morning. Yeah, that's it for me. Ciao, ciao.